Hello, everybody out there in Twitch and D&D land. Sorry about that. I forgot to hit the record button, and it's a lot easier to record directly here than downloading it from Twitch, as sometimes we have file corruptions and things like that. We'll move through the intro much more quickly this time. We have a Patreon. If you want to join us, that is in the link down below. We have a bunch of media, which is also in the link in the description down below. And now we have a new sub goal. Every 50 subs we get, we are going to play a game of marbles. Each sub or gifted sub that you give to the community will give you one marble. You can attach a sentence, and whatever marble wins is what activity we do. Currently, we have somebody hedging for me to do a intro song for, I'm assuming, a period of time of me doing the He-Man scream. So that's what they want, apparently. But yes, if you want to influence what activities we're doing as a community, you should definitely gift those subs out to more community members. Also, everybody who was here yesterday, I'm sorry, I forgot to post the pictures of the puppets. I kind of just crashed yesterday. I felt like shit. So I apologize for it. I'm going to be taking the pictures of them today instead, after this game. If you want to hold me accountable, you can yell at me at the end of this to do it as well. I'll do it. But I believe that's going to be everything. So, Gorinsky, tell us what happened last session.
Yeah, so last week we were just kind of beginning to explore the ruins of Noah, I believe, yeah. And initially tried figuring out where we might be headed using the compass that we had on ourselves. Unfortunately, through a quick use of that, it's broke. Not blaming anybody. Sir Urich was the last person to use it. That's all I'm saying. But the two party members, Ace and Jimmy, went on to kind of survey the ruins, see what they could find. Came back to the group and let them know that they had spotted two temples along with a individual who was going into a third building, and didn't seem to be the same as some of the creatures they had encountered. They seemed to be a little more cognizant of their surroundings. So we came back to the group, decided to start with the temples, and we began investigating one closest to us, which turned out to be desecrated and turned out to be empty, with the exception of an individual who was underneath it in a kind of small, short little catacomb. And they seem to be under the enchantment of some type of strange magic. They lashed out at us. We were able to get rid of the enchantment and free their mind. They seemed to have no recollection of what they were doing, and then proceeded to leave the temple. There was a tablet underground, unfortunately, which we picked up and was brought back to the group, and proceeded to attempt to enchant, mind control, overpower the wills of the party. Urich was able to withstand it, as were Jimmy and Ace, while the rest of the party succumbed to its influence, and through some quick thinking, we did manage to basically neutralize that threat, although a Prissa and an Ace almost came to blows, which might have been cataclysmic.
Or comical.
Yeah, Ouch took the piece back into the catacombs, while the party quickly escaped the temple and just made it outside, barely a scratch on them, thankfully. They then came across another individual who just so happened to be in this area, who turned out to be some type of tradesman slash expedition. What do they call it?
The world's greatest archaeologists, as quoted.
Yep, that's the word I was getting to. And yeah, it turns out he's kind of making his way through this area, and yeah, he seems to know his way around, seems to be very capable, but we're, I think, in the process of going elsewhere to maybe the other temple. That is it.
Yes. The party has begun a short rest inside of this area. Well, I am heading over to that other temple. It's the last place I haven't been able to look through quite yet. If any of you wish to join me, you're more than welcome to.
Quick question. Does that mean our short rest was successfully completed?
Your short rest was, yes.
I'm going to make sure I use that arcane recovery then, because I need it.
Sure. And if anybody wishes to roll hit dice, feel free.
Let me roll. Oh, no, I'm still at full. Sweet.
Yeah, there's only a couple of party members, I think, that were even touched.
Yeah. I've never actually done that before, so let me just...
Yeah.
Do I regain it on a short rest?
I haven't taken any damage, so I'm basically fine anyway. But...
I do regain it on a short rest. Yes.
Okay.
So I just do the /R.
No, you click the word hit die.
Where is it?
It's where your hit points are, but right below.
Got it.
And if you wish to roll multiples, feel free.
Okay.
I regain my 10 hit points. Yay.
Yay.
So that gives me 20.
Yep. 29.
That was Dorzen.
Oh, never mind.
But I am going to do it one more time. There we go.
Can I get my
32.
Get back here?
Perfect.
Nathan Gale, world's greatest archaeologist, is his name. All one word. Nathan Gale, world's greatest archaeologist.
Even bigger exhale.
You have to use the whole thing.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yep.
Is it hyphenated?
Yes. Because he is not stupid.
Does he get mad if we call him Nathaniel?
Do you wish to try?
No.
He's the one granting you sanctuary for your short rest.
You wouldn't want to invoke a gale storm or something.
Bad puns are good.
Yep. So Nathan, which temple exactly are you talking about here?
Oh, the one to the Raven Queen.
Oh, you know where it is.
Yes, of course. I snuck in there once before, but as I previously stated, they caught on that I was not a part of their organization. Luckily, though, I now have robes that can make me look like I belong there.
Real quick, out of character, I think one or two people got the idea of the betrayer god whose temple was desecrated.
Mm-hmm.
Who were those? And I know it wasn't Jimmy. There's no way in hell it was Jimmy. I'm just curious.
Sir Uric absolutely knows that that was a betrayer god and a desecrated temple that was actually created to that god. The desecration is just the aspect of that god. And I believe Conaroth was able to discern it.
Yes.
That makes the most sense because he smells evil.
Basically.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
I thought somebody specifically, though, got the idea that it was the ruiner.
I think that was Canaroth. Or
No, Conaroth wouldn't know about that.
No, that
Well,
was
I think we all know that now because Nathan told us.
Yeah,
that.
that's it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I knew it came up at some point. I can't
Yeah.
remember exactly.
Nathan
where.
expresses it to you all.
I mean, Prissa maybe would have known, but despite all that case,
You
she
had
was
no
just a gnome in a rage.
You had no opportunity to have ever learned about the Ruiner. There are
Okay.
bits of information that are unknown to the Lyceum. Or not open to their students.
But what you're saying is I need to go into the forbidden section of the library.
You can certainly try. But yes.
So, I turn to the group and I say, Well, I think the Temple to the Raven Queen is a far better candidate for finding what we're looking for.
Wait.
And even though we may have expended some of our resources in terms of spells, and I say we push on. If Nathan will, if you don't mind us tagging along, that is.
Oh, I would be thrilled to have you all with us. The only problem is, your two friends don't exactly... They're not going to be easy to hide. Looks at Conoroth and Dorzen. I mean, everyone else, you're pretty common to be seen in most circles in Tal'Dorei, but Conoroth, I haven't seen somebody like you since I was over in Wild Mountain. Dorzen, I've never met an individual as exquisite as you.
If it's been a short rest, I would be back in Goliath form.
Yeah, statement still holds. Goliaths don't blend in well.
Could we maybe paint them or something?
I could turn them invisible.
That's
that
interesting.
works. How long would that?
An hour, unless they attack or cast any spells.
Well, that's certainly a better option.
Well, they might be more appreciative of doors.
Hold on, Canoroth, you promise not to cast any spells?
I just look at Jimmy.
Well,
He's smiling ear to ear.
I really don't think they would appreciate Dorzen. They've been known to capture people left and right. And, well, he's of unique quality and make.
Well, I mean, they could certainly try, but I wouldn't let them.
Okay. I don't want to risk my opportunity to find out whatever I can discover about that forgotten temple. I mean, it's been untouched and unscathed by people outside of that organization for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's really fascinating.
I mean, the only other thing I'm kind of worried for is what about Mr. Valentier over there?
He's gone, right?
Oh, he already left. He ran off.
Yeah,
he left?
Yeah,
I thought he followed
booked
with
it.
us.
No, he booked it. He was not having any of this shit. You guys were attacking each other? No.
Okay, to be fair, that is the appropriate response to that situation.
I think he's
What
dead.
if he joined
Jim.
up with us after we exited the temple again?
He was going to, but when all of you running through the city streets, he just... No.
Okay.
What if we were to change the shape of his shape?
I'm sorry?
I can do that to one...
Continue,
Sorry.
Ace, please.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, what if we were to change his shape to something more bipedal?
Well, I mean, if as long as his shape would fit into the robes that I have, I see no issue. The problem is, the robes would barely even look like a high schoolgirl's skirt on him, and point at Conoroth.
So wouldn't then just you needed a large or reduced spell?
So the things in this area, whatever those are, they don't attack people who are wearing clothes like that.
They do. Just those people can maneuver around them very easily.
Do the robes give you a special power to do that?
I haven't tested it.
Oh,
And Prissa, you were saying something?
Oh, well, I mean, you were mentioning transforming forms, and I can do that to one person, if they're willing, but I can't turn them into a person, so to speak.
Jimmy, roll me an Arcana check.
it's a 24.
These robes have no discernible magical qualities to them whatsoever. However, they do, on the inside of the collar, seem to have this golden band wrapping around it.
Just gonna give a very patronizing look towards Nathan. Like, sure, buddy.
Well, if Dorsen was in a more humanoid form, Ace, it definitely would help. Are you capable of such things?
I think Prissa just mentioned. But you
No,
can't-
oh, sorry, continue.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I can't turn him into a humanoid, but I can turn him into a small animal or big animal.
This idea might be a bit, shall we say, childish, I suppose. Do we have a large robe? Prissa, you can sit on Canarot's shoulders and we'll make it seem like you're one person.
That could work, and I do have a spell that can make Dorzen look like an actual horse.
Alright.
I mean, wouldn't it be easier if we just turn both of you invisible?
Probably.
Most likely.
Ah. Ooh. I like that part of the story.
I don't think we've gotten to that part of the story yet.
No, but I'm imagining it, and it's playing out brilliantly in my head.
The only other idea I could have is to do an enlarge or reduce spell. If you
Can any of you do that? Also, that
I
only
don't-
lasts 10 minutes, Conaroth, so...
Yeah, I don't have any way to make anything.
Unless it's a potion, actually. Then it lasts longer.
Right, if somebody has a potion. Bueller? Okay.
Everybody's kind of laid out what they can do. Now, what are we going to do?
Oh, I thought we were going to. Prissa was going to make them invisible.
I think that's the most straightforward option we have. Probably the best one.
You're doing the ritual version of it?
Oh, sure. I forgot the ritual is an hour.
Yeah, it's only an hour if it's a ritual.
Yeah, then I wouldn't be able to take my short rest during that. All right, never mind then.
Yeah.
But you could.
With that spell, it decreases the duration to 1 hour. You could still short
wait.
rest, Prissa, but the duration lasts only an hour and then it's gone.
You would
Oh,
have to do
no,
another
that's
ritual.
still fine then.
Yeah. That's fine
still
then.
5 temporary hit points.
Right, which will expire in an hour. Do you do that at the beginning of your rest or the end?
I think after I've gathered myself again, and while we're kind of having this conversation, she's just kind of setting up things to do it.
All right. Doors in, you have 5 temporary hit points. So, if we're going with the invisible idea, that's great, but I definitely want to have this done before nighttime falls. It gets a lot more dangerous to be out on the streets in the nighttime.
Well, sounds like intermission's over. Shall we?
How many hours do we have until nighttime? Like, estimate.
Looks up at the sky. It's always difficult to say, but I usually rush it anyways.
I'm
Kristen,
going to roll
do you
a
know?
survival to do an estimate. 27.
Kristen knows what time of day it is at all times.
Yeah.
I do.
You do a survival check. You look at Prissa.
Krista names the exact day, hour, minute, second.
You have about 2 hours before dusk. It's around 6 p.m. Fantastic. Well, everybody, don your robes, put them on. If you need them trimmed up a little bit, we can handle that, no problem. Yes. He goes and does the survival check. The two big fellows, you two aren't getting robes. That's fine. He puts it over you, Sir Yurik, and, like, your armor bulges against the robes. They're definitely made for lankier individuals. And you're upcasting that, correct?
No, that was me. Yeah, I'm upcasting it, so it's a level 3 spell. So now both Dorzen and Canroth are invisible.
Yeah. So, Jimmy, a robe is given to you that you kind of have to, like, fold up many, many times. Ace, the robe actually fits you very well. Prissa, same thing for you. You have to fold it up many, many times. But eventually it fits.
I'm not going to be wearing the robe proper. I'm just going to put it over my back and kind of, have the hood over. Just that way I can throw it down. Because I imagine, like, a kid in a grown person's, like, overcoat, it's going to be too cumbersome. So I'm just, like, wrapping myself in it so I can kind of throw it off.
Sorry, I just kind of imagine, like, you put the hood on, then you put, like, the excess over the hood. So then when you, like, reveal yourself, like, underneath this hood is another hood.
It's like a hood, and the rest of it, I'm just, like, I have
laying
the arm.
across yourself.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean,
The hood.
if Prissa was sitting on Jimmy's shoulders, would it look like a normal person?
Potentially. Gnomes are
should we
notorious
try
for
that?
having very large heads for their size.
I
Do you want us to try this?
You muted yourself, Prissa.
no, I was gonna say something like, no, I was about to respond as Prissa to Jero. I was like, that wouldn't make sense.
Do you two wish to try this?
Jimmy would not think of it, so he just kind of looks at Prissa and...
Do you want to try being a full person together, Jimmy?
I think I can lift you up. 12 strength, is that enough to do it? See, this is the problem. Depending on how long we go to the temple, I might get tired.
Yeah, you're probably gonna get tired.
So I'm
but
trying
Maybe-
to be like, it's a idea.
Well, let's see how it is now, and then we won't do that until we get there.
the only real problem is Pris's bag.
Just give it to Doors and it becomes invisible and anything he's carrying.
Sure. Then Dorzen is carrying 2 bags.
He's carrying a whole saddle of 500 pounds.
Yep.
I can carry a bag if that's the...
You are carrying a
Alright.
bag.
Alright. I can put one on the front and you can drape the robe so it looks
On
like
the
I'm just
invisible
stabbing
people, it
something.
makes more sense.
There might
Well,
not
yes.
even be anybody at the temple. Why don't we just go there, and if we need to change our disguises, we can.
Oh, there are absolutely people there.
Let's just give it a try, Jimmy. And Prissa's gonna begin to, like, move toward Jimmy and start
Alright.
attempting to find the best way to get on him.
Jimmy, give me a strength check.
Well, it's not negative.
While they're doing that, I'm asking Nathan to just tell us a bit about the people there.
You can hold her up, but you cannot walk with her.
I'm sorry. Am I too heavy?
I think we look good, but I don't think we're gonna get very far.
Oh no, I feel fat.
Jimmy's like not moving, but you can feel his body shake.
Okay.
I'll hop off.
More things about these people? Well, They bring in goods. They excavate the area all the time, trying to find anything lootable. They seem to... Well, they've kidnapped people who have stumbled through the area before, and I've never seen them come out.
And they are followers of the Raven Queen? Or...
Oh, no, they just occupy the temple.
Right, alright.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the Raven Queen likes people like that.
Oh, I mean, if anything, we would probably be doing her a favor by clearing the temple of these people.
Invisibly looks at Dorzen. He's also invisible.
I mean, can we redact that a little bit too? Is I wouldn't turn you invisible till right before we're gonna actually leave, because I thought that's what we were doing earlier.
I'll allow it.
Thank you.
Just, hesitate before speaking up about I'm casting this spell now from now on. Just so we don't have to redact every 30 minutes.
Sorry, I'm on push to talk, so my hesitation's not on video chat.
Audio. Oh.
Yeah. They certainly don't mind people who wear their robes, though. Yeah. That's about everything I know.
Right.
This is the fun,
Well,
diving
shall
into
we?
the unknown. I like this.
But do
waiting
they
for-
seem like they have any, like, arcane capabilities? Are they...
I've seen one or two.
Right.
Mhm.
Just trying to figure out what sort of... Yeah, if they seem like a bit of bandits almost, in some regard.
Yeah, the audience awaits, and they give the best energy to the crowd. So let's just go.
All right, Deadpool.
Alright, let's get to it.
Alrighty. Prissa, Conoroth, and Dorzen are now hidden. I do need stealth checks from everybody as you are moving through the city. Conoroth and Dorzen, you have advantage, which for Dorzen I believe translates to you have a straight roll.
Yep.
I would have my boots active for the slippers. For whenever I
I'm
need
gonna
to
cast
smile on
guidance
that
on
verbal circle.
myself.
I'm sorry, Yurik. 1 second. What were you saying, Conoroth?
I would have my spider climb boots active during this time.
Okay. They can be active for up to 10 minutes, I believe.
I think. Actually, I don't know if there's a limitation.
Well-
Well, thank you for reminding me that I can do that too, but I forgot of this roll, so I won't.
Actually,
The slippers of spider climbing. While you're wearing these light shoes, you can move up, down, and across vertical surfaces and upside down while leaving your hands free. Yeah, you don't have to activate, you just can.
Oh.
Yeah. Dorzen, do you cast that on yourself?
If you will allow it, that was Yurik. I just forgot, and he reminded me.
Sure. You cast guidance. Invisibility breaks.
Oh, wow.
I feel like you're messing with us horribly, but
I asked. I confirmed.
I also said that
Sometimes-
was Yurik that cast the spell.
Yeah, and I asked you, like, hey, you spoke up. Is that what you're doing? You're like, yeah. Sometimes characters make mistakes, people. It's part of the game.
Yep.
Sometimes you're not perfectly optimized at every corner.
Tarzan, you're no longer invisible.
was in.
What'd you do that for?
Oh, I know. He's a follower of the Raven Queen. Of course he doesn't need to hide.
That's not the case.
Okay, new
Jimmy.
plan. You guys go ahead. I'll teleport into the building later.
You can do that?
I have the cape.
Oh. I forgot
So
about
since
that.
I
That's
already
so
broke
useful.
my stealth, I'm gonna roll the d4.
Yeah, yeah.
Wouldn't that... I mean, I know that it's not wasn't a too important thing, but wouldn't that have been
Well,
easier to go down that hole then?
Well, technically, Dorzen, if you're invisible, you should have rolled advantage on stealth.
no.
He's
I
no
have
longer
plate.
invisible.
No, but
I rolled plate. I
we're
have
we're
plate.
we're playing into this whole thing. If he would have rolled like a natural 20, there would have been no point in him even like, I need guidance.
Hmm.
But it's whatever.
Yeah. So, Dorzen, you're breaking off from the party, not stealthing with them. You're going by yourself.
I kind of have no choice. Because...
Well, you have choices. You guys have lots of
I don't
options.
I don't want you going off on your own again, Dorzen.
I'll stay with the party, but like in the back, so if they get seen, I have a second to get away.
I tell you what.
If I get seen, I'm
I-
not associated. I don't know.
Oh,
Dorson,
I have,
go ahead, Prissa.
I can fix this again. I just need to cast a spell again.
Don't cast a spell because I'm an idiot.
No, it's Dorzen. Your safety is my priority right now. So Prissa will cancel the concentration, and she'll cast it again,
wait.
same level. But beforehand, she'll also use the Pearl of Power to regain the spell slot for 3rd level.
Ish,
and
you
that
were
way it's-
interrupting.
No, go ahead. I'm
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so then you put it on yourself, and then we go through it again. Cool. So, Dorzen, roll one more time.
With advantage.
No, it's he's got
I
heavy
have
armor, so
split
it's a straight
mail. I
roll.
don't. Get
It's
hit
straight
advantage.
roll. So that's... Party
What is
average
it?
15 even. Wow, that rarely happens.
You could have given yourself guidance before she cast it. Why?
No, he did. He did. He said if he's... Yeah, he did. So party stealth of 15. Not bad. You all begin moving through the old ancient streets in this area. You're keeping very close to the walls as you watch some of these unidentifiable creatures just shamble along the way. Moving very slowly, moving very deliberately. You look like you want to ask something, Dorson?
Yeah. That roll D4 in the thing. I didn't do that.
That
I
was
didn't
your
create-
previous D4. You did that. It just added the stealth roll afterwards since you were the next person to roll something.
That's weird.
Yes.
Okay.
You all are slipping around the area very easily, following after Nathan Gale, world's greatest archaeologist, as best as you possibly can. He stops at a few buildings to, rifle through some items that seem not properly looted through, and taking them and putting them into a satchel he has underneath his robe. He moves out again, continues through the area. When you get closer to the front of the establishment, the large blackened wood building, the incredibly high pillars that raise out of the ground and above, you do see several more of those creatures out front than usual. There seems to be a congregation of them just shambling about and stumbling through this area, kind of like a herd of creatures. Nathan backs up to the party and goes, "Well, shit. I don't want to walk past them.
we can cause a distraction somewhere else.
Can we?
Maybe.
Are these the same things that were running away from the explosion? When you joined?
Correct. It's all of the 3 different types of creatures.
Mm.
And there's only about, I'd say, 10 of them.
Well, only
when we
10, of course.
When we encountered them earlier, did they seem like they had any intelligence, or were they just mindless?
They were mindless, but they had a level of intelligence to understand that thing moves, I kill it.
Right.
I can get rid of them. And Jimmy's going to start rifling through his bag.
Okay.
Pulls out what appears to be multiple small cylindrical devices strapped together along some metal base. And he promptly sticks it into Ouch's back and bends down to Ouch. Okay, little buddy, you know how this works. You just go out there as quick as you can. Try not to get caught right away. And keep going. And I'm going to send Ouch that way.
Through the crowd?
Yep.
Okay.
Is it possible to cast minor illusion without breaking stealth?
The moment you cast a spell, you break stealth.
Never mind then.
Did you just send Ouch as freaking Bugs Bunny? Was it a bomb?
I like to think more Daffy Duck.
No, Daffy will get blown up by the
Oh,
bomb.
no. Wile E. Coyote.
So, Ouch is dead. We got it. Cool.
For the cause.
So, Ouch is going to explode, not only with the double ray explosive, but also with his own self-destruct. So it's
Should
going to
we
be
take
a
cover?
very
Well,
big.
First off, have Ouch roll a stealth check to see how close he gets to them before...
Straight dex, he is not proficient, but he does get a +4 from me. So here we go. Whatever this is, +4. Ooh,
8. He goes, "Hey, oh, ding, 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 ding." Some bits of cobble and stone are falling over as he, walks through it all. And some of the creature's attention draws over towards it. Yeah, they're gonna attack him.
Mm-hmm.
How far away did you say they were?
Probably a couple 100 feet.
All right.
AC 14, right? For Ouch?
Ouch! Oh no, Ouch is an 18 armor class.
18.
Yep.
Alright, so that's only 3 hits so far. 4 hits. 4 hits. So, as it's ting 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 ting, all of their attention snap over, and you watch as the long tendril-armed creatures just wrap and start pulling and dragging his body forward. The large mouth creatures are starting to sink their mauls against it, and even swallowing some of the other creatures into their gullet and stomach all in one swoop. And it just seems like an orgy of uncomfortable proportions. And
Ouch also always has the dodge action, so keep that in mind too.
I'll re-roll all of it. All right. Miss. 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 Hit. 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 Miss. Hit. Miss. I highly doubt he has that many hit points.
It's exactly 60.
That would be more than enough to kill most of you. So he's probably sunken, grabbed, and then self-destructs with the thing on his back in the middle of all of them. Just roll that damage.
The self-destruct damage.
As well as the bomb.
Okay.
Because the bomb is volatile. You're using the pirate bomb, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's incredibly volatile. The moment they start slamming and dragging him
Oh,
around.
boy.
Yeah.
All right, so this is for ouch plus a d8. There we go. So 20 fire damage from ouch, and then the double rig. I think it was. Let me look at my notes.
It's like a lot.
It
was
is
a
a
lot.
lot. It is a lot. Yeah.
I think was it like 3d12?
No, it's 5d12.
5d12.
Yeah.
There you go. So 49
Holy.
fire damage.
Okay. Huge explosion with a napalm set of fire out in the open. All of those creatures are running and fleeing away from the fire. They do not like it at all. They are dodging, dipping through the streets, and all of you are hit with a very loud combustion that I'm going to say, with those two bombs going off side by side, the party needs to give me con checks or con saves.
I was totally ready for it.
Oh, Jimmy, you're immune to this by now. You already have tinnitus. You have a passive of 8. You definitely have tinnitus.
That's why my perception is shit.
Yeah.
And so Yurik likes blowing things up to begin with, so this just...
Yeah, I'm just smiling.
I rerolled a 1 because I'm in
I like
range
to
of Jimmy,
imagine
right?
him with sunglasses on, just like.
Yeah.
Jimmy seems pretty focused, and he can't see you. You're invisible. So...
A quick question too, when Ouch exploded, did Jimmy turn around so the explosion was behind him?
No, he was like bent over, holding his ears. He knew what was coming.
So Konorath and Dorzen, after that explosion goes off, the two of you are going to be considered deafened. Roll me a d10. For the next 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Both of us or just one of us roll d10?
No, both of you. It's actually no, both of you roll. Yeah. So Dorzen, roll yours. 1 minute.
It makes sense for me because I have keen hearing.
Yeah.
It makes sense for Dorzen because he's figured it out by now with Jimmy.
And Sir Yurik is just smiling at the napalm.
You know what would really benefit Jimmy?
Glorious.
So
Earmuffs of
immediately
silence.
What are you saying, Dorzen?
I was just saying something stupid that Jimmy could invent for all tinkerers such as him, earmuffs of silence.
Are you saying that in character?
Yes.
You're very loud and screaming it.
Jimmy, you
as soon
really
as he
should
starts
invent
shouting.
earmuffs of silence for these.
Slap!
Dorzen feels the emotion of not frustration, I guess it'd be like a fear,
Yeah.
because she's kind of like saying, Dorzen, quiet, Dorzen, quiet.
Jero, I'm taking 100 gold worth of my residuum battery dust, and I'm going to do a quick little cast, and you just see these smoking pieces of debris start rolling back towards Jimmy, and Ouch starts to reconstruct himself.
You
Okay.
mean
Like
like
the
Jimmy
Iron
Neutron's
Giant?
dog?
Actually, that's probably a better comparison.
All right. So all of you are standing there. Dorzen and Konorath just keep hearing a very loud beep in the back of your head.
Curse you, tinnitus,
Yeah.
you cruel mistress.
Great show. But anyways,
Kaneroth is paying close attention to what people are saying and like their lips and trying not to speak because he's like, this would yell.
Yeah, can't Dorzen read lips too because of observant?
Dorzen can read lips.
Oh,
I can't, but
I've
I'm going to
never
try
used
to.
it.
Yeah, Konorath, you can't. You don't have the feet.
What, I can't make a roll?
No, there's a feat for that.
If it's written down somewhere, it kind of, unfortunately.
Yeah, that devalues the people who take the feat.
Like being a monk and taking Tavern Brawler.
I've never used that feature of that feat before.
Yeah, you can read lips as long as you understand the language.
Why is Dorsen yelling?
Oh, he's currently being quiet. But anyways, the loud concussive explosion goes off, and as Ouch is reassembling, you do still see the napalm-like flames in the streets persisting and burning through the area. Very notably, as large as that explosion was, it did not touch the temple.
I'd hope not.
Prissa's gonna turn to Nathan. He's like, does that accomplish what we need to do? We can go a little bit around the fire.
He
but
looks.
At least those creatures aren't there.
He looks behind himself. Yeah, we want to get in that building now. And he just goes taking off.
I follow.
Running
Prissa
after.
follows.
Dorzin, you currently do not have a passive perception because.
For a
Oh,
minute.
because it's tinnitus.
yeah.
you
I'm
probably
just gonna
do
see
shit.
him run and just follow, not sure what's going on.
Okay. You all run over towards the building. You do notice the doors and windows all seem locked, but as soon as Nathan gets over to the one door, he pulls out a set of small tools, and while watching behind him, just clicks through it. I'm gonna roll for him. And think opens the door up. Jimmy, I believe you're proficient at thieves' tools, right?
No.
You've never seen somebody use them that quickly and with one hand. Opens the door. Come on. Come on. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. And I'm guessing the other 2. He slams the door shut with all of you inside of here. Doors in, your hearing is starting to come back. A little bit. Once you're all inside, though, you look around at all of the pews that seem perfectly well positioned, untouched, unscathed. There's large banners lying up against the walls, held up by different poles of wood that seem to be attached to them as well, accenting ravens, a beautiful white featureless mask, and feathers across them as well. And there appears to be no discernible podium like the other temple. Just a small couple of stairs up to where whoever would lead the sermons would be organized and speaking. Further past that, there are 2 doors at the rear entrance of this establishment, and there's one individual currently squatted up by one of those doors, and they seem to be whittling a piece of wood.
They seem like they're worried about how we just suddenly came in or anything.
They
or-
seem heavily cloaked and like they are whittling a piece of wood.
Prissa acts completely natural.
Okay.
I'm sorry. How many did you say there were? What
There's one.
I apologize.
Just one.
Okay.
One person sitting over by a door. Whittling. Yeah.
I'm just gonna look to Nathan. And just
Nathan adjusts his hood like over his face a little bit and just starts walking up.
Prissa naturally follows.
All right.
Very naturally.
For this, I need a performance check from everybody. Dorzin and Conrad,
no.
you are excluded because you're just. I need stealth checks from the 2 of you.
So natural.
T-pose, just walking. This is how big folk
I was
walk,
thinking
right?
Monster Mash. I was thinking Monster Mash.
Oh, thank God I had advantage. Jesus,
oh
Ace.
shit.
Gotta love these rolls.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Prissa, T-pose and assert dominance.
Prissa, why did you have to say my rolls were because of my hair?
Yeah, you cursed
You
it.
know why?
You cursed
'cause it's
it.
true.
As all of you, I should probably roll for Nathan Gale. Oh, he did pretty good.
Wait, worst comes to worst, Prissa suddenly climbs onto the invisible doors and put T-poses that way, so she's a floating T-poser.
With straddled legs, just
Although she'd be like standing on the saddle, but she may fall. But yeah.
Sure. But anyways, as you're all moving forward, the individual who's whittling stops and looks up at you, Ace. Then looks over at Nathan. You do see the one eye underneath it. They do have a pale blue texture to their skin. But you don't see any other feature, just the eye and the curvature around their mouth.
And is this the same? The one eye that we see, is that the same one eye that was left on the rats earlier?
This is the right eye.
Okay.
Looks over at the two of you. Are these new recruits?
Yes, unfortunately. But they'll get into shape soon.
Dorzan, you kind of bump into one of the pews. Moves forward, and his attention snaps in that direction. Roll a deception check, Ace.
Alright. Yeah.
Ah, that's shit.
Well, I mean, who knows? His insight might be shit.
Yes, the person the DM chose to be the guard has a shit insight. That is correct.
How do you?
I mean, come on, it's a common trope that guards have horrible perception or insight.
City guards, you are correct.
I mean, it's the bard's role to seduce anyone who might be an obstacle. So
Ace is not a deceiver. He's a performer.
Yeah. He stands up and kind of like twirls his dagger in his hand, kind of like you've ever seen those people like roll a coin, but instead it's kind of like a switchblade without a switch to it in his hand. And just looks past you at the other individuals. He squats down to you, Jimmy. You need to wear the robe more properly.
It's kind of big. Do you have a smaller one?
We have a seamstress downstairs who can handle that for you.
Great. Thank you.
Walks over to you, Prissa. Please put your arms down.
Yeah. Sorry, it's first day.
Holds the dagger out to you. Don't apologize for anything. Ever.
Right. So I mean, no. Right.
You do better. You try harder. You never need to apologize.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we don't make our points at knife point?
Turns over towards you, Jimmy. I'm sorry, I forgot my ruler in my other cloak.
Is he pointing the knife at me?
Yes. But it's less of a point and more of a rotate the body.
Yeah.
So
He's like,
Oh, can
Well-
Prissa pull out the ruler she always has on hand? Because, nerd.
Well, no
Oh,
matter
dear
what,
God.
Jimmy, he definitely has a point.
God damn it, Yorick. Roll a persuasion check, Prissa.
Wait, what? Oh, shit. Yeah, that tracks.
By the way, that was a roll against Yorick's stupid comment. I can't
Not even
even.
your cleverness can fix that.
Dad joke just like it implodes inside of his head.
Great, you short-circuited Jimmy. Just-
To be fair, that's actually kind of impressive. You short-circuited.
But anyways. He glares over at you, Prissa, and then stands up, walking over to you, Sir Yurik. A few inches shorter than you, about as broad as your shoulder points, so, considerably smaller than you. And just looks up at your face. Since he's looking up to you, you can easily discern this individual has a mild sweat about them. Like, they are perspiring very consistently. and their pale blue skin is a little off-tone. They don't have any particularly elven features either.
Okay.
He looks up at you. You look... He slaps the flat of the blade against your robes. Tink, tink, tink!
It's just my manly chest.
Tink, 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 tink! Roll deception.
Oh dear lord.
That's what's called abs of steel right there.
Yeah.
I was about to make a
Come
joke.
on. Nat 20.
14. He goes, oh, I didn't realize we had a warforge in our midst. I apologize.
Never apologize.
He smiles at you. This one will be fine. The others might have to sleep with the dogs. He goes over to the pew. Dorzin, I need you to give me another stealth check.
Oh.
He readjusts the pew, but it hits your hoof, so you like, oh shit, move it out of the way. Now you need to do an acrobatics as he starts trying to feel around.
Can Prissa use Mage Hand to like adjust, if only slightly, another pew that's away from there?
Pews absolutely weigh more than 10 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Oh
they do.
shit.
Could I adjust a pew?
You certainly could try.
It was so close to a nat 20.
I mean, does Canaroth know where Dorzin is, though? They're both invisible.
No, Counteroth knows where Dorzin is because Dorzin is moving things.
Fairly sure Canaroth
Just
also.
because you're invisible doesn't mean you can see other invisible people.
Yeah, no, he can't see you, but he sees that you're bumping into shit.
And the guard feeling around for someone.
Yeah. Their hand pushes out and grabs nothing as you, like, very quietly step backwards. Paranoia is getting the best of me. It's been a long day. Turns and pulls his hood back, looking over at Ace and Nathan. Very long day. You heard about what happened at the other temple, right?
I did not. What,
Some of our people were digging around. Send them all forward first. I'll talk to you. He goes over to the door, unlocks it, opens it wide, and ushers everybody else in. Dorzin and Conaroth, I need dexterity checks to see if you can get in before they close it. Like, you can slip inside.
Save?
No, check.
Fudge.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh!
Dorzin, you slip inside very quickly. You kind of like... Your connection with Prissa like causes her to panic a little bit, I assume, and then she like leans down to tie her shoe, and you slip in during that time, just stepping over.
Which is really funny because the laces on this are so easy to tie.
Yeah. And Conaroth, as the door's shutting, it kind of just like taps into your back. He closes the door and locks it. All of you are inside of a pitch black room. There is no visuals for any of you, even with dark vision.
Oh shit.
Can we get a sense of how large the room is?
You can roll an investigation and try to find out.
I just want to like stand and sort of, if there's sort of listen just a little bit and try and pick up on if there's any.
All right, roll a perception.
noises. Before I start touching things.
Further up ahead from you, you do hear the sound of muffled conversation, as well as a quieted whoop, 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 dripping water from somewhere.
Okay.
However, outside, Ace and Nathan, the individual turns to you, pulls back their hood. And Ace, with your time over in Wildmount, this is a Genasi. You've seen a few of them along the Menagerie Coast here and there. Water Genasis are incredibly rare, but there was even an individual that you performed for not too long ago that it was a good time. Good time. But anyways. So, you know how we've been expanding the tunnels underneath to give us more room for the people that we keep bringing in?
Yes.
Well, we've been forced to move closer to that place, or else having to deviate our routes very deeply, and there's been these random explosions going off in the area. I'm not really sure what's happening. But when we got closer, the effects seemed to radiate outwards all of a sudden, and we lost 5. I know.
I had heard explosions, but I didn't know what it was.
Me neither. I asked if they needed me to go look at it, but they're worried that we might be getting infiltrated by Iman. Yeah.
Yes, that would make me paranoid too.
Yeah. Nathan just smiles this entire time. But yeah, so we're kind of being a bit more relaxed with the recruits. The big guy, I like him. I think he's gonna do good. But for the little ones, just send them with the dogs or something. That's...
Yeah. Sounds best. I agree.
Yeah. They don't want them, accidentally dying or something.
Yeah.
But then, anyways, you kind of look familiar, but I can't remember your name.
Oh, you can't?
No. Or yours.
Think of it,
But I know I've seen you around before. Points at Nathan. Nathan goes, yes, my name is Nathaniel.
And I've been with Nathaniel, so you probably saw us together. I really should be getting on.
Roll a deception check again. You're trying to avoid that conversation.
You saw us together, you see. I am a classic bard, and I seduced him. You caught us at an inopportune moment.
Yes, of course. Be safe, Be safe. Goes over to the door, unlocks it. Everyone else, you're still kind of just standing there as Ace, you bump into the back of Canaroth immediately. And you know it's not Dorzin because it's not a horse. And then you kind of push him forward as you're moving in. And he goes, good luck, all of you. Gives you a little wink and then closes and locks it.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Sure. This guy's a little creepy, man. That was definitely a threat. That was absolutely a threat.
I didn't hear a word of anything.
Yeah, you're still deaf right now.
I have
You're
no idea
deaf
what's going
and
on.
you're blind. This is worst place ever.
But I still have my smell, so can I try to smell my way forward?
That's not really. I mean, you can smell your allies. I think a lot of them are sweating right now.
Yeah.
Because remember, I got heightened smell.
Yes, you do. But as you're
That just
all...
shows you the... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Ace, Nathan, how do you know that guy?
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
He was...
Come on.
Later.
As you all start pushing forward, moving down this corridor that is pitch black, the first of you to step forward and ahead of everyone else, torches ignite. illuminating the surrounding area. This is a stone-worked tunnel, though it seems to be a patchy and scrap-based job, as if they used leftover materials to move the stones where it would have been just soil instead to fortify the area. The torches are lined into sconces, and as you look at them, they're glowing with a blue-looking flame that adds a measure of atmosphere to this location.
May I roll Arcana to know if... Do I know... let me ask, these torches, are they like magical torches, or are they just like torches that are there for ambiance?
They turned on without anybody turning them on. You can roll an Arcana check if you would like. They are magical torches. There's a spell that makes a flame that is perpetual, and there are combinations of that spell with other spells that you can place into them to make it activate when people move into an area.
I kind of want one of those torches, just for research purposes. We should probably keep going.
Right, yes, let's go.
So, you all... Yeah?
No, as we're sort of walking, I'm starting to whisper to... would I know about the Warforged?
You've never met a Warforged before in your life.
Have I heard about them?
No. Roll history.
Okay, I'll try.
Jimmy probably made them.
Oh,
That's why he was banned from
So-
Vasselheim.
You
apparently
know,
I know all about them.
there's an honorary member of Vox Machina by the name of Tyrion Darrington, who created a robotic man that would follow specific instructions given to it. It's much like Ouch for Jimmy, but that's the best you can assume of what a Warforged is. So he pretty much said, you're a machine, not a person.
Right.
He called you on par with Ouch.
Oh.
Oh well. I don't
Right
care.
at the prime.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't think that's
things
really a diss.
Yeah.
I mean, Ouch just scared like 10 of those things outside all by himself.
Yes, Jimmy had nothing to do with it. But anyways, you all continue moving forward. The corridor stretches for about 50 feet or so before you come over to a door. And as you get to the door, a tiny slit opens where you see a set of very sharp-looking, but high-raised, cheekboned face looking at you.
Hello.
So I just like that long moment of us just staring at each other.
I'm probably too close to the door. I can't even see the eyes. so
That's fair, yeah.
I just hear
I'm
the
using-
noise and I look up and I'm looking back at the group.
But then,
I'm
then you
using
do-
my
do you
most
knock on the
metallic
door?
voice.
Metallic voice.
Yeah.
The eyes just keep looking at all of you.
I'm going to mimic what Nathan Gale is doing at the moment.
Okay, roll a performance, Ace.
Chris is still going to be acting completely natural.
Nathan is smiling and waving, so you turn and just nod your head and wave, smile. You forgot this week's password, didn't you? Come on, they put it on a piece of paper for you. Seriously, how can you, like, this ruins the atmosphere, man.
I know it. The little one accidentally ate it. The paper.
The individual kind of looks down, and because Jimmy is face to face with the door, Prissa, who is in T pose. Hey.
Oh,
Is
no,
this
yeah.
the best
Just
cult
a-
in the world or the worst?
And Prissa's going to remember what that guy said upstairs. I'm not apologizing.
And it all comes together.
Oh, I've got tears in my eyes.
Dude.
Yep. The door shifts and slowly opens for all of you to walk inside. As soon as you're in there, you look around and I will describe to you all what you see when we come back from our break. We will be right back.